This video is packed full of my top spring DIYs I'm super excited to bring to you to help you get a jump start on all of that fun crafting. Whenever the sun starts shining, I get super inspired to start crafting and making some fun, pretty things for my home. Please give this video a big thumbs up and let's jump on into it. I was so excited to find one of these huge buckets. They're like an ice bucket from the Dollar Tree. They're pretty sturdy too for the $1.25. Once again, taking some spackling and just watering it down a little bit. I'm going to be covering this container with the spackling. Before I did that though, I went ahead and painted a coat of white chalk paint. This is a super shiny plastic, so just putting the layer of chalk paint over the top of it is going to give it a matte finish, and it's also going to really grip a hold of the spackling whenever I apply it to it, so it's not just going to wipe off. So I added a little bit of water. You don't want it too thin because I want it to stick. And then I just use my hands because I like the texture rather than trying to struggle with a popsicle stick. But rub this all over the container, and then you really want to let this set and dry so that your spackling is not soft. After I let this dry completely, I'm painting it with some still colored chalk paint. I was trying to be super careful, but some of it will break off, especially the edges or any really tall pieces. So I just went super thick with the chalk paint. It really soaks it up, so that's why I'm using so much. But it also is going to act as a sealer to make sure that it's all nice and protected. So really putting the paint to it, and then I'm going to be spritzing it with some of my favorite stone paint. So I pick up this texturized stone paint from Walmart. It's in the Rust-Oleum brand, and you can see how gorgeous it is by the cap. Now, this is expensive spray paint, but I layer it on top of the gray paint, just barely using it, and it's going to last a long time. But it really elevates this planter and gives it so much texture so it looks like real concrete. I love checking out Hobby Lobby's 90% off. You can just find small little art pieces like this for 80 cents. This was 89 cents. You can find them under $1, and I just love to stock up on them whenever I see them so that I can use them for different fun projects like this. This is way cheaper and just a lot heftier than most Dollar Tree signs. So the first thing I did have to dust it off as why it looked wet, but I did paint this with a dark elephant colored chalk paint, let that dry, and then the fun weird thing that I'm using in this DIY is a sponge, this round sponge. It's really porous, and I paint on it the steel color paint and just stamped it on there. So I thought it was really fun. It looked like a moon actually. That's not really what I was going for, but I love the circular porous shape of it. So I go ahead and just kind of put that all around, and then I'm going to use this as the backing for another sign I'm going to be making. So I love when Dollar Tree sells these 3-part signs. You can pull them apart and you're getting a bigger bang for your buck if you're going to be DIYing them. So this little board with the actual lines in there, or grooves, was perfect for this. It fit perfect inside that little square. And then I was able to grab some of my favorite Dollar Tree rub-on transfers. They keep bringing these out, so keep an eye out for them, and then just played around with how I wanted it to look. I think that's my favorite thing about rub-on transfers is that you can cut them apart and make individual pieces or transfer the whole image, and just it looks different every time. I felt like it was a little bit spacious in between the plants. I added in a few little dots, but such a fun, neutral, unique piece. Picked up a couple of these large wooden planks as well as some of the small thin boards from Dollar Tree, and I wanted to construct a wooden box that I could use as a tall planter. So I have some really tall plants that I've been getting from Hobby Lobby, and I have a bunch of them in vases, but I thought it would be fun to make a rustic looking wooden box or vase or planter. So I'm making this box. So I'm laying out the pieces and just kind of marking them how I need to cut them down, and then using my yellow miter box and saw, I was easily able to cut these down in just a couple of minutes. And then using hot glue, like I mentioned, you always should use wood glue if you have the time and patience to mess with that. But for these videos, I like to use hot glue. But I go ahead and add some extra support because I knew this was going to be really fragile if I'm just like depending on that one line of hot glue. So I love taking these tower blocks and kind of pushing it where the seam is, so it's going to give it like extra support. And then I knew I was going to have to do the same thing for the top, so I just had to glue the little tower blocks right at the edge so that I could apply hot glue to them and then press the bottom or the top back on. And this worked out really well. You can see I didn't even take the time to pull the labels off. I knew they would be all tucked away on the inside, but glued this down nice and tight, and it feels like really hefty when I pushed on it. I don't feel like there's really any way that this is going to fall apart. I was going to stain this, but I just don't have any stain on hand that I've been in love with recently, and I hate whenever you buy big cans of stain and it's just not what you love, but I just need to keep shopping around. They kind of quit selling the ones I loved and used a couple of years ago. But anyway, so for this, I just kind of mixed up my own little watery paint, and that kind of acts as a stain. So just mixed some light and dark gray, added some water in there, mixed it up, and then just kind of painted this on to look like a gray stain. It worked perfect. I put a little like garland of wooden beads at the top, put in my Hobby Lobby flowers, and just looks really cute and adds a lot of height to any space. So actually a sweet viewer recommended this to me, so I had to try it, but I'm just using a Target dollar spot blank sign, or you could use any Dollar Tree sign. I taped my stencil down in place, and then I was scared to just go straight for the spackling, so I did give it a light coat underneath of just white paint before I start stacking up the spackling, just to make sure that I was able to get it in all of those tiny little holes on this stencil. I do mix a little bit of water with mine just to get a thinner consistency whenever I am trying to paint on or use the spackling, but using a stencil brush, I'm just really packing it on really thick, so this is going to stand up nice and tall, really caking it on there and letting this completely dry. And you can see what gorgeous texture shows up on this sign, and feel free to mix your spackling with any like thin down paint to color it, but I really liked how this turned out. So I was so excited to find these huge plain signs out at Dollar Tree. So I'm grabbing one of these little garden words from the spring section. I'm not sure why these were separated, but they were in my store. Now these signs, they do have them in different options. I found some that already had words on them, but this little garden sign just caught my eye. I love how it has the little 3D pieces already on it. I'm going to go ahead and stay with that natural look. You could paint your sign or the garden word anything that you would like, but I'm leaving the garden just how it is. Just going in and painting the little watering can and the bird just to make them pop out a little bit more. But I was so excited to find that this garden word fit perfectly on this sign. I just removed the jute twine hanger, glued this down in place, painted the little bird. You could attach a little ribbon to the top. I just loved how this looked so plain. Added a few little dots for the watering can, but how cute is this just made with a couple of bucks? So I've made a DIY like this several times before for each holiday. I love double stacking this. The larger jar came, or larger glass container, came from Dollar General. It was just a few bucks extra, but I love the size of it. But any two glasses like this that fit inside each other will work. It makes the perfect little pocket in the sides to decorate. I've put candy corn in one of these, as well as the little conversation hearts for Valentine's Day. But for this, I thought it would have more of a high-end look if I filled it with some of these gorgeous rocks, and you could display them without making the mess. And then I was able to put a little piece of styrofoam down in the middle and then played around with the greenery. I used the biggest greenery came from Hobby Lobby, and then these actually came from Walmart. I just kind of tucked them in wherever I saw the space was needed, and I left this plain, but it would also look cute with like one of the Dollar Tree wooden charms. While these look like they're aimed towards like maybe a kid craft or just more of like not a higher end craft with the like neon green paints inside, don't overlook these because you can also dress these up for tiered trays or shelf decor. I am just removing the paints out of the middle, and I will just give these to my kids. I usually have like an ongoing kid craft box that they can dig through, and then painting these with some chalk paint. And you can see that they're kind of like this like terracotta material, so they will break if they are dropped, but I'm just super careful with these. Paint one white and one gray, and then filling them up with some florals. I love these little purple flowers. I'm sticking it in the white one, and then for the gray one I left it a little bit more neutral, so you could go as colorful or neutral that you want here, but I feel like these are so adorable. They have a little flower imprint on the front, and I just left that as is. You could paint it if you wanted to. You could even paint these with like some glossy clear coat to really make them pop, or give the gray one more of like a galvanized look, but these will be so cute in like a spring themed tiered tray. One thing that really caught my eye when I walked into Dollar Tree were these like bigger birdhouses. They have like the little 3D laser cutouts on there, and I thought these were really cute. You could spray paint these if you're worried about like the natural wood showing up behind the bird, but I thought it would just make it pop a little bit extra. So taking these little houses, painting them with some mineral color chalk paint, I paint the little roof white, and then this is something I'm just going to display. So I didn't go all out with them. I kind of wanted to paint them black for more of like a modern look, but I was worried like the bird and the little cutouts wouldn't show up very well. And they do have like a string at the top, so I did push that in with a pair of my scissors, and then filled the top or hole in with hot glue, painted the roof white, and let this completely dry. I know a lot of people shared these wall vases last year, and I personally didn't find them last year, so I was able to find them this year, so hopefully any of you all that couldn't find them can get your hands on them. I decided to paint it a matte black finish for more of like a chic look, and then the ugly sticker residue was still there, and instead of having to soak this in Goo Gone and worry about getting all of that off, I decided to cover it up, which actually worked out better in my favor. I covered it with some more of this fake leather and then just glued it over the edge, and this made it look like it had a fun little leather pocket on the front. Doing the same things, I love adding the tops of these thumbtacks to everything, and these do come from Dollar Tree. They have like little hardware sets or nail sets. I just use a pair of cutters and pop that little like pointy thing back, just covering it safely to make sure that it's not going to come at me. But I glue these down in place and then just fill this full of your favorite succulents. I love picking up succulents from Dollar Tree, but a couple of these did come from Walmart, like these ones that like dangle down in the front that I'm cutting up, as well as the one that had multiple succulents on the same stem, and just played around with it until it looked really full, reattached my little jute twine hanger, added some beads to it, and it just, I feel like, looks so much better rather than if I would have just threw these plants in the original galvanized one, or if it's my style more for more of that boho like natural look to it, and just kind of like a modern look. But I love how it turned out. I think it's really cute, and dangling from a shelf, this is going to be perfect to display for spring. I'm a sucker for a square frame. I don't know what it is. I just feel like they're really pretty, so I find myself grabbing them. For this one, I wanted it to look more of like a freestanding frame without the backing, so I took that out, took the little pegs out with my pliers, and then glued this down with some hot glue, and then it was time to decorate this. So I wanted to make some really fun like artwork that I could set around on shelves or smaller areas. So I'm using a stencil. I thought it would be fun to actually paint like a little leaf on the front and then put some paint on the back so it's really going to show up. So I love this Dollar Tree leaf stencil. I've used this so many times. I've even made DIY earrings with this stencil with the faux leather. But for this, I just traced it with a Sharpie and then went back over it with black paint. After it was done, I added in a few extra details, doing a different leaf on a smaller frame. I feel like these would be really cute setting in a set of 2 or maybe even 3. You could even go for like a bigger frame and do multiple leaves on one. But after I got them painted, I let them dry and then started playing around with the paint that I'm going to be putting on the back. So this didn't work 100% like I thought it was going to. I know that chalk paint is a lot thicker, but these were older chalk paint, so the first 2 were just too thick and they didn't kind of move around like I expected. But you can see on this third pour, it was perfect. It was the like exact consistency that I needed. I could move the paint around. It wasn't too thick and it didn't have any of that old like dried junk in it. But I got it like close enough, let that completely dry, and then I feel like it just wasn't as big and bold as I wanted, so just put that pop of white on the backing. And next up, I wanted to make a super simple like 5-minute, it's not even 5 minutes, a little lantern by using some rope on a jar. So I love these huge like wide mouth glass jars, and they're plain. They don't have any like labeling on the front, so they're really easy to see through. I just cut down a piece of nautical rope and glued that for the handle, and then once again taking little golden thumbtacks. I do pick these up at Dollar Tree in like a little hardware kit, but cut off the little backing to glue the hardware on both sides of the rope. I filled this up with some little decorative rocks and then I'm going to put in a succulent. So it kind of looks like a little mini terrarium, but if you wanted to, you could even use like a solar light at the top with like a smaller plant.